Between myself and our next guest, one of us may sing for you, so you probably don't want it to be me. I have the privilege now of introducing A.Y. Young, who is the founder at Project 17. He is a producer, singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur who powers his battery tour performances using renewable energy. AY was recently named a UN Youth Leader for SDGs and performed at President Biden's inauguration. He's currently working on a global goals album labeled Project 17 in collaboration with the Earth's biggest artists to create one song for each of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So we are delighted to have him in the house today. And AY, welcome.
A local hip-hop artist makes an international name for himself. He is the first artist to power his concert with 100% renewable energy.
It is a real honor to recognize Mr. A.Y. Young, the founder of Battery Tour.
It's incredible. Can't wait for you to see this. The United Nations is now throwing its support behind him.
Mr. Young has made a big impact in his young life, born in 1991. He's a singer-songwriter, a dancer, producer, entrepreneur, and sustainability advocate. He's staged and performed more than 800 concerts. He was named by the United Nations recently as one of 17 youth world leaders of the world, the only individual selected for that honor from the United States.
Forward to stimulating this local economy further, bringing entrepreneurs together, bringing businesses together, bringing the world together so we can make some change.
I'm here to listen. Tell me what to do. Give me ideas.
My mission is to kind of break down these silos and build bridges to power collective action by bringing everyone together. It's going to be incredible. My work plan's in 3 different phases. I'm going to make an album powered 100% by renewable energy.
Right now, AY Young is working on an album based on the 17 United Nations goals. Major stars like Tech-9 and Billie Eilish will collaborate.
There are 700 million people that are still living in poverty.
The whole premise of your music is about collaboration
100%.
and about getting excited. It's about going across the finish line.
I don't think anyone can disagree that everyone needs to have access to energy, water, food. My belief is that everyone in the world, we're all these outlets for change.
We can change the world.
Yeah, what's up, guys? We can change the world. Hey, guys, make some noise for like Kristen, the team, Hedera. This has been awesome, right? Yo, I'm really happy to be at Davos. I actually rarely speak. I normally just perform. So this is new for me, you know? But I think it's important, like, yo, in the back, what's cracking? How you doing? I normally be performing. Everybody with me say, hey! Hey! Say, wah! My name's AY. How you doing? What's up? Yeah. So I think if you guys watched that video or saw that like in the last couple of minutes, like I think that like in life we should be doing what we love to do every day. You know what I mean? Like we should be doing what we love to do. I don't think what else is life for if we're not living our passion. And I think in order to know our passion, we have to know our why. You know, like what drives you. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot, I look around Davos and sometimes I wonder, why are people here? So think about it, like, what is your why? You know, what drives you? But my life and my story is just that. It's, you know, it's interesting. I grew up in the hood in Kansas City, Missouri, and I watched my dad, like, bring my city together, like, block by block. You know, like, he mobilized the community, created block captains. We had 4 drug houses on my block growing up. It was crazy. I watched him mobilize. You know, I used to wake up. I'm homeschooled. I used to wake up and go downstairs and see like the chief of police or the mayor and things like that. You know, and I watched my dad bring my city curbs and sidewalks and mobilize the community and get rid of the crime. And it was incredible. And I think was inspired by my parents to bring people together, to bring the world together. You know, because I think in order to power real change and achieve this sustainability, we need to be plugged in together on the local level, on the community level, and on the world level, right? Connected. The power change. What's up, girl? That's Andy. So anyway, my story is like, okay, I think we should be using our passion to take an action, right? So once I figured out, okay, I want to bring everyone together, then I realized, music was my passion. I love music, and I realized, okay, I can use music as a vehicle, right? And I can use my passion every day. So I started setting up on street corners. I was trying to, perform. I used to try to open up for Justin Bieber or this artist or that artist, and I would always get hit with like, how many followers do you have? And I was like, not a lot. And I was on this X Factor TV show. It's a TV show in America. And I just got off the show. And I would be trying to open up for these artists. And they'd be like, well, how many tickets has your last tour sold out? It's like, none, bro. I just got off a TV show. So I was like, screw this. I want to do what I love to do every day, right? And I obsessed over energy. And I realized that energy is the base resource, right? We need it in our food, our water. And if you store enough energy, you can power anything. So I started storing energy and batteries to do my passion, perform every day. So that's what you saw. And I started this battery tour, right? Now I would bring people together in communities around America, like-minded people, to power change. That was my first step of figuring out my why and discovering my passion. I think once you figure out your passion and you're doing it every day, and I used to perform 8-hour, 10-hour shows, right? I used to bring people together. Then I think it's important to take your passion and use it to take an action. You know what I'm saying? So it's really crazy because it was like show 400. Which is a lot of shows. I have no life. You know what I'm saying? And I was like sleeping in my car, you know what I'm saying? I had the batteries in the back. And I was like, I'm driving around America, and I was like, there are places in America that don't have electricity. It's crazy. I didn't even know that. I was like on Netflix trying to watch Netflix, and I was like, and I have energy in my car, solar, battery, right? And so I found out there's 1 billion people who don't have access to energy, right? So that's when I made the decision, okay, I have a passion. Music's a universal language. I can use my passion to take action. So that's when I built that box that you saw on the screen, right? Because I found out 1 billion people, didn't have energy. So I switched to this music for impact model, where I use the music to fund impact, to build a box and send it to someone who needs access to electricity. So since 2012, the Battery Tour has helped bring energy to over 17 countries. Yeah, so that's like taking, your passion to action, right? And then, I'm in this new phase of like taking these actions and really creating change, right? And that's where Project 17 comes in to play. So do you guys want to hear about Project 17? Okay, so the Secretary General was like, telling me what to do. Did you see that on there? Telling me what to do. So the Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, they called me up. I did a Zoom. It was really tight. Me and Muhammad, whatever. And they were telling me about these 17 goals, And I was like looking at them, and I was like, bro, more people know Johnny Depp's relationship. Like for real though, like where I'm from in Kansas City or around America, when I do the Battery Tour, like I'd be like, hey, you guys see that post from Kim Kardashian? Everyone knows like a Kanye post or Kim Kardashian, right? But if you ask them, hey, do you know the gender equality goal? No idea. Or hey man, do you know everyone should have food? So I was just like, oh my gosh, bro, and they were telling me about the millennial goals. Do you guys know about the millennial goals? Right. Tell me. It was new to me, bro. Tell me about the development goals are for me the most important.
It's the first time in world history that all the nations agreed on the big challenges we have ahead for this century. And even if we know that many do not follow, at least we have an agenda on which we agreed that is what we have to tackle now.
No, he's right. Make some noise for this dude. What's your name, bro? Huh? What's your name?
Antonio,
he's cool. He's got that good. Antonio. Sounds good. That sounds really good. I like your Antonio Banderas. I used to watch those, like, all those movies. So and I didn't know what the millennial goals were. Like, I don't even know if I was born or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, well, I know how to, fix this. Like, I think I can, and I was like, that's what we'll do. So it took me 30 seconds to figure it out, like, what Project 17 was. But really, I realized it was 10,000 hours, right, of doing this since like 2012, this music for impact model. And I believe that they have to be achieved, but I think music, culture, the youth has to be a part of it, and that's what it's missing. So I was like, okay, one song for each goal, you know what I'm saying? But each song with a major artist plugged into what they care about, because we should be, doing what we care about every day. All right, so when I sit down with Billie Eilish and her team, or now Paul McCartney's team, or some of these major people, I don't even have to really explain the goals that much. I just be like, yo, what do you care about? Oh, I care about this. Well, that's where you plug in at. And it's the same thing with companies, corporations, whatever. So I developed this concept. Everyone in the world is an outlet for change, and plugged into each other, right? We can power change. So I'm going to blow through Project 17, and then maybe I'll talk with Christian a little bit, and then, have a good time. I don't talk that long. So this is the project, right? So I think everyone's an outlet for change. Like, we're the outlet, on youth around the world will take photos of an outlet and say they're plugged into their passion or whatever. But one song for each goal. I actually just finished all 17 songs. Now, we only have like 4 major artists on so far, but the project's scaling, right? I've been lining up 17 implementation partners, right? Because implementation partners, like, NGOs, people that do the work, right? Because I think, in order to advance the goals, we have to empower those people, right? So if you look at the screen, I kind of split up the world in 4 categories. I think there's companies like Hedera, charities, artists, and individuals. And so my Project 17 is to get everyone to take an action, and the power or support change, right? So 17 songs, one song for each goal, each song with a major artist. Just finished all 17 songs. We launched in Times Square, 17 implementation partners. And the really cool thing, is that we've been lining up 17 sponsors, right? Because in order for me to be what I call like the Robin Hood of the music industry, right? In order for me to give away 75% of the sales of the music to implementation partners so we can make the change happen, get people food and water, I gotta own it. I can't have a record label owning like 90% of the album, right? So we've been lining up 17 partners. I'm really happy to announce in Davos, one of our newest partners, BNP Paribas, came on board. Yeah. But it's the same idea. We asked the company, hey, what do you care about? What goal do you want to achieve? How can we connect you to the youth, and how can we achieve this SDG? And we plug them in. So that's kind of what's happening, guys. Here's just an idea of kind of how it's been. Some of these sponsors coming on board. People will see me with Samsung, obviously General Motors, is one of our newest partners as well. And that's what enables us. The sponsorship from the corporations enables me to own the music, so I can give 75% away. It enables me to bring the artists on board, right? These major artists, secure the artists. And the value of music, I think, is huge. Music is culture. Music is a universal language, and I think in order to achieve all this, in order to get these blockchain messages out, we have to use music as a vehicle to plug everyone in, right? Those are some of the implementation partners I have so far, like the UN Joint SDGs Fund, the National Wildlife Federation, wearing their stuff, so it's pretty cool. Okay, we're just lining up like 3 sponsors per goal. Gonna skip this because I'm not pitching you guys, just talking about the project. We're lining up multiple implementation partners per goal, because I think you need to definitely empower different organizations to achieve the goals, right? Because some of them have different functions. Booyah! You guys know I've done over 900 concerts powered by clean energy. This slide is really just to show you, like, this is my purpose. In life. It was to do this project. I used to complain because I've spent like 10,000 hours doing like Garth Brooks songs or like Paul McCartney records, like Dolly Parton, to attract people. Then you do your originals. But now it's so crazy because when I look at Project 17, it's like, oh my gosh, I was made to do this music for all these different types of people. So, and yeah, I've opened for T-Pain, Aaron Carter, Shaggy, Wiz Khalifa. The list goes on. All my homies, you know what I'm saying? Good people. Booyah! This is my favorite slide. Okay. Sometimes people in the music industry are like, hey man, that's like We Are the World. And I didn't really know what that is, so don't hate on me. I wasn't born. I don't think I was born. But I know what it is now because I've been Googling. Michael Jackson made a song about like poverty or something and brought everyone together and power change. Booyah! And my mom always says there's nothing new under the sun. She's like, AY, there's nothing new under the sun. You know, basically to make me not feel like I'm special. You know, it's whatever. I'm not that special. I'm her special boy, though. But that's true, though. It helps me, keeps me humble, because we're all doing the same thing. But the great thing about Project 17 is I use the framework of the goals to plug everyone in. And by the way, guys, this is not aspirational. This project is like moving, right? Like we've already got multiple sponsors, multiple artists. And so we're not just plugging in artists, right, to the song that they care about, but we're plugging in activists, influencers. There's people on TikTok with, we just plugged in 2 girls in New York. I think they're 14. They have like 2 million followers each on TikTok. But they didn't know what the goals were. But when I showed them the goals, they were like, yeah, I care about gender equality. Like all women should have, you know, equal. And it was so dope because, okay, great, that's what you plug in at, right? So that's what we're doing. You know, YouTubers, some YouTubers have 1 million subscribers. Mr. Beast, we're on his panel. That's the biggest one in the world. Hopefully plugging him in this week. But sports players, athletes, your Stephen Currys, your LeBron James, these people are humans. You can use the goals to plug them in. So we're doing different versions of the album. We're doing the main version that we just finished. We're doing a PSA version. We're doing an EDM version because there's great EDM stars. Do you guys listen to EDM music? What up? Marshmello and Diplo. They get like 1 billion streams on every record. But if you sit down with like Marshmello and was like, hey, what do you care about? Human, you know? Yeah, a rock version because, you know, I really like some Aerosmith and some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get him on here. Yeah, so we're just doing different versions. That's part of the Samsung deal. It's on Samsung built the Global Goals app, the world's first Global Goals app. So if you have a Samsung phone, you can go get on that now. And you'll like see me on there. We're working on building out Project 17, so you can like go in there and be like, oh, here are the corporations that this one cares about goal 1, and oh, here's the song, let me listen, and oh, you know, it's like a build out. So it's gonna be really awesome. But there's 200 million people on the app so far, and what is it, 950 million Android users or something? I'm trying to know my stats, guys. So like the capacity of this project is pretty big, and we haven't even plugged in all 17, you know, like sponsors and partners. This is very important to me. This is something my partners built. Just really, I wanted to show impact, right? So I thought to myself, oh my gosh, like if we secure, shoot, what's the example should I use? Ellie Goulding's pretty good. Do you guys know Ellie? Oh, yeah. I just met her at COP27. She walked up to me and was like, I know who you are. I know what you're doing. I want to be on the album. I was like, whoa. I didn't even have to sell myself. But like on that song, Goal 14, is we're thinking Ellie, Jack Johnson, so imagine if like that record sold 70 million copies, right? Like put it out, 70 million people download it, click buy. You know, I wanted the consumers, the youth, Gen Z, millennials to be like, oh, wow, this is who got water and where, right? And I think it's great for the corporations because what we're doing in Project 17 is we're able to give you quarterly reports of, okay, that sponsorship just got these many people energy. You feel me? Transparency. And I think we're looking to do some blockchain stuff, but I want to connect to you guys about it. Okay, that's really it, guys. That's the timeline. We're doing a docuseries, 17 episodes I've been shooting for like the last 10 years of my life. Yes, I have no life. Been doing this a long time, right? So been doing a docuseries to showcase each goal, right? Because it's kind of its own world and universe. And then, next year after COP28, we will announce at COP28 the Project 17 tour. We're going to go out and do 17 dates in the States first, because I'm the young leader representing the youth of the U.S. Obviously, I do global stuff, but I think it's important to get the world plugged in, starting where my home is. So you guys are getting some exclusive. Anyway, boom, done with Project 17. I think this thing helps you showcase your DEI. Reach your core audience. Impact-oriented. You can be seen as a thought leader. This is like, it's supposed to be epic. You guys aren't clapping. Jeez. I gotta work on I know, right? This is music with a purpose. And you can achieve your sustainability, ESG, and CSR. And you know what? At the end of the day, besides connecting to youth, this is how you be dope. Christian.
Round of applause for AY. AY, I think you can power your tour off of your own energy. We need to bottle that You are a high energy individual. So you talked about something, actually, the importance of owning your own music. And I know you work with a lot of up and coming artists. And when we look at the traditional music industry, we have a very centralized model. You have the record label, you have the management, and then you have the streaming services, and everyone is taking and taking and taking. And the artists, takes them a long time to get paid, and they don't get paid very much, right? Yep. So, obviously Hedera, we are a distributed ledger technology. How do you think about distributed systems and decentralized systems being able to help the artist community?
Oh yeah, tremendously, and I am definitely learning. I feel like I've mastered music and creating music and performing and things like that. Learning a lot about NFTs, blockchain, what's possible, and very open to remaining independent by utilizing these new forms of technology. But I think it's amazing. Like at the end of the day, we're moving toward that. Like we're moving toward artists owning their art. And with all these different platforms to release it and potential partnerships that, can help, connect your art to the people, I think the possibilities are endless. I think it's beautiful.
Cool. And obviously you have this passion for sustainability, and you are talking the talk, or you're singing the talk, and you're walking the walk. But sometimes for us as individuals, it can feel daunting, right? We know what the challenges are. There are 17 of these sustainability goals. What is advice that you give to, I'm father to 2 teenage daughters, right? I have 16-year-olds. Like, you connect with the youth. What is advice that you give them about, we all talk about anyone can change the world, but that is freaking daunting. So how can your just everyday person take an action that collectively can make a big impact?
Yeah, and I talk about this all the time because like youth ask me this all the time, and there's like a huge thing with like climate anxiety, right? Like everyone's like anxious and like, oh my gosh, like how can we do this? And I just break it back down to I say the same things every time, like whether you're General Motors, a CEO, a kid in the classroom, an athlete, I just say be an outlet, Like be an outlet for change and take a step every day. Like people are like, well, how'd you get here, AY? It's like, dude, I did over 900 cons. I did 260 last year. Like it's a step every day, right? So you take a step, whether it's like, whether it's picking up, being an outlet for change. You're picking up a plastic water bottle that you see on the ground. Or you can take a step. I have a lot of kids in high school, things like that. They're like, dude, I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, you're going to prom. Like, there's this guy's like, I'm going to prom. Like, I'm going to carpool to save, right? Like, there's a step. Hey, carpool, right? Okay, you're 7 years old and you have like ridiculous, or 14 and you have a ridiculous amount of followers. Then use your platform to share potential things that other youth can plug into and make an impact, right? We measure impact too much by the follower count or the view count. I mean, you can simply practice localism. You can say, hey, Mom, let's not go to the supermarket. Let's go to the local farm, right? So there's all actions that we can take.
Yeah, that's great. And I think it is those little actions that really, if you take that little action and then the next little action, together, we can really do some big impact things. So last question for you before, I think you might sing a song for us, right? I will not sing duet with AY. Okay, so last question, and if there are any audience questions, we're happy to take them as well. So you also, when you were talking about, you're like, think about what your why is. Like, why are you here at Davos? And you wonder why a lot of organizations are here at Davos. Let me ask you that question. You've networked with tons of people here. What is the common thread that you've found that's tying us all together? Are you feeling that the people here are here for a good reason, that they do want to make a difference? Or are you seeing a lot of greenwashing where people are just maybe at the surface telling a good marketing message and it's not underpinned by any real change? What's the vibe you're getting?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways I can answer that. You know, it's interesting, you know, I went to COP27, Grady didn't come to COP, right? Like one of our bigger youth leaders. And, you know, I'm in the same cohort as Vanessa Nakate. But when I think about things like COP, Davos, Abu Dhabi Week, all these things, if we don't have these convening spaces where voices can be heard or people like me can be here, I don't think we can truly come together to power change. So I think it's necessary. Now, I think that people are here for different reasons. But what I think is at least what I'm doing with Project 17 is whether your reason even may just be maybe a marketing thing. Like, oh, we really want to market this piece. Or whether your reason may be other reasons. You know, I know that I've created something that everyone can plug into that genuinely powers change, right? So, you know, I don't like to, I stay positive. For me, it's all about the action. I do a concert, someone gets energy. Now I do a concert, or you buy Gold 2 when we release that, hopefully with The Weeknd on there, and someone gets food, right? So whether that company or corporation is technically, you know, maybe has multiple reasons as to why they're getting involved, I can, you know, use that for good. And so I think you just need people that understand the bigger picture and figure out, bring us together and to make actionable steps. I hope that's a good way to answer.
I think it's a great way to answer because you're saying even if you're here for the wrong reasons, you can turn that into a positive, and I think that's an amazing mindset to have. So put your hand up if you have a question. If not, AY's going to sing one of these 17 goals.
What up? I like the scarf, bro. I see you, dog.
Thank you, AY. Love your energy. This is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I know some top flight U.S. artists. I want to introduce them to you from Prince and other bands.
I'd love to. That's beautiful.
So if you have an agent here, I just need to give them the card. So
No, it's crazy, guys. I don't have an agent and manager.
Okay.
I kind of did this.
Yeah, so
grassroots.
Like Hold Steady, and the drummers from Prince and others. So just,
beautiful.
Yeah. My high school. I'm old.
Gabriel. People from that. No, dope, dude. No, yeah, we'll talk. That's Nikolai. Amen.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, one here.
First of all, thanks for your story. It's inspiring, and the story of your father as well is kind of what I want to talk about or ask. So you've been on, or you are part of the United Nations, and I see you're plugged into really major brands, but sustainability, to make it real, in your experience, are you seeing more change from the ground up? So people like you going out, doing real things, impacting change, or are you seeing it being led, or does it need to be governmental, big business? So distill it down, is it top down, or is it bottom up that in your experience is having the most impact?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing both. Like, I mean, on a corporate level, I'm not going to name this company, but I remember they just told me when I was at Cannes Lions, they were like, we just created a sustainable development goal department, you know? Oh, shoot, the chair, no worries. But the goals have been around forever. They're a huge company, but they just now did that, which is interesting to me. Shouldn't you have done that, like, maybe when you got with the Global Compact or, you know, like, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's a lot of movement and things are changing, and I think people are taking sustainability and all these things more serious and corporate social responsibility, right? I mean, it's gotten to the point where in the entertainment business, managers and agents are like, say something about those straws, you know? Like I literally see like people attacking people for like using plastic, right? There's like a lot of changes. I just think that there's a lot of silos in the UN space, right? Like when I got into this UN space, I was like, holy crap, like my office, the Envoy office hadn't like spoke to like UNICEF in a year. I was like, oh my gosh, how are we supposed to power change if we're in the same building and we, you know, we're not talking. So I think there's a lot of silos, and I believe that I've built something to break down these barriers and build bridges to connect us, and it's obviously using the power of music. So that's what I'll say. I think that's my purpose for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.